Hey, ladies and gents, it's Isdwis coming to you with the review of the Mythic Legion's Baron Volligar 2 figure. We had received Baron Volligar 1 way back in the day. Here he is. And this is one of a few figures that I think are going to get a part 2, a redesign, including Artemis Silvercord. Leodicius has a new one coming out with the video games Mythic Legions figures, and I think there are some others in the cards down the road. But let's take a look at Baron Volligar Part 2. First off, I'm going to go ahead and read the bio. You can go ahead and pause this and read it yourself. If you want to hear me do it. It says, Baron Volligar II. Though Ilithia's return is a reason to rejoice for the entirety of her brood, for Baron Volligar, the significance of her homecoming goes far deeper. Volligar has spent ages tirelessly scheming not only to bring back his faction's goddess, but of even more personal significance, to see his mother again. Relentlessly carving a bloody path through mythos, he has stopped at nothing to hasten her return. Now that he and his daughter Lucretia have been reunited with Ilithia, Baron Volligar and his family will bring great suffering, the like of which has been hitherto unknown in the realm of mythos. So as you can see with vampires, this is a heartwarming family story spanning 3 generations. I've already reviewed Ilithia, the one of the horsemen, one of the 4 horsemen of mythos, who embodies famine. And so these bloodsuckers, I guess they have kids instead of creating other vampires. Maybe they just procreate, and it's like a family drama. You have Baron Volligar I, which is the same as Baron Volligar II, and they've been trying to get grandma or mom to come home. Ilithia finally returns and is reunited with her lovely granddaughter Lucretia, and her devoted son Baron Volligar, who Hedgehog put out a review where he called him Grampire, and I love that. I'm a sucker for puns like that, because he's an older vampire. It's amazing how the male vampires look like they've been around for a long time, but the females are incredibly beautiful, ageless. I don't know how that works. I don't know if these vampires mate each other and then just call themselves mom and dad. I don't know how that works. I know that, they have family structures and that they are all follicularly challenged. I haven't seen a vampire with hair yet. We've got Volligar, no head, no hair. Carpathius, no hair. Lucretia, no hair. So to make up for it, we get a bunch of extra parts here where Volligar is just, teeming with fur. And here he is. As you can see, I'm going to compare him to the earlier Baron Volligar. The earlier Baron Volligar is one of my favorite knight figures because he's such an iconic sort of evil knight. And I love that black, it's not a cross, but it's got 3 crossbars, so I guess it's a cross for somebody who has 6 arms. But Baron looked really super cool in this incarnation, but in Baron Volligar II, of course, the 4 horsemen have to up the ante and take it to a whole new level when it comes to special tooling, special accessories, and just this incredible outfit. So before I go into that, he comes with 2 swords. There's this sword, which is a long sword. I think it's called a Zweelander or something like that because of this double shield here for the hilt, but he gets that. We've seen this one before. And then he gets this sort of dark steel sword, very elegant with the curves, you know, reminiscent of sort of elven weaponry. But so that's what he has in the way of weapons, those two swords. And then he comes with a different shield. It's not bearing the, you know, iconic sort of triple-armed cross. It's another sort of elven type shield here with all these curves. And again, we've seen that before, but this is the first time we have it color coordinated with Baron Volligar with this sort of metallic purplish. It's a subtle but purplish metallic accents there. So there's that shield, and it's like peeling back layers on this guy. I love the profile, the huge hulking profile that he has, you know, with the fur, with this special armor. It's not only stylish, but it's very, very imposing. He also has a cape, a purple cape in the back. He's got these unique pauldrons, especially designed for him. I love how those bat wings just sort of swoop upward that way. And then some unfortunate, I guess, bear or fur-bearing creature was sacrificed for this very, very cool wrap that he has. But it all, you know, makes for a great-looking profile on this Baron Volligar 2 figure. So let's unwrap him a little bit here. I'm, you know, going to have this fur wrap on him because it just makes him look really cool. But here's a look at what he looks like without the fur wrap. And then in the back, the cape. Now these capes, the new capes that have been issued are a redesign. This is not one of the wired capes from Siegism, but this is one of the old style capes. But I noticed that the holes are in a different place. I'm not sure that I put it in here correctly, but for me, it doesn't really matter because the cape is going to be covered by the fur wrap anyway. But I'll pull it back so you can look at some of the details here on this collar. You've got the, again, bat wing accents or motif here on both sides, and then sort of a vertebra there in a metallic silvery finish. So then again, the unique pauldrons here with a dragon head. I believe this to be a centipede, and then a serpent around there as well, if my eyes don't deceive me. But I love the dragon and, you know, the mix of these motifs, like the vertebra, the centipede, and the serpent, and the bat, of course. Just super cool, very sinister and imposing looking. And then you have this neck armor with these sharp spikes going up around there. And then you have what I believe to be the head of Alithia here adorning the front of his armor. And then some more, you know, vertebra or centipedes or snakes or some sort of, you know, combination of all of them. Go really, really well here. So yeah, that's a look at these pauldrons, which we've seen for the first time. And then underneath, and then we've got this really cool belt, folds, right? Like, you won't see most of this detail, but it's just kind of cool to know that it's there. The old style 1.0 body. We also have the rubber loincloth. So I'm guessing this is, you know, we're going to see these less and less as we get into the more deluxe Siegism wired capes and cloth goods. But it's a very, very good look, and it works really well. One thing I do notice about these is that the plastic feels a little different in that it doesn't really require a lot of heating up because the joints are nice and tight, but they aren't they don't get stuck, or at least not in the figures that I've encountered so far. So they have a little give to them, right? Not as stiff. And I do notice that, especially in the pauldrons, that it's sort of a rubbery, not as hard material, but that's cool because, first of all, you can, move the arms around. The pauldrons have some up and down motion, so you can move the arms around. But the one thing to say about that is that when you put the pauldrons in, you should heat the holes. You should heat the holes up, because otherwise it's a little tougher to get those pauldrons in, because, like I said, this rubber is not as hard as the other rubber that was used for the earlier pauldrons, or some of the earlier pauldrons. So the peg is a little bit softer. And so if you want to get it in there nice and snug, what I would suggest you do, take a hair dryer and heat up this hole just for 15, 20 seconds or something. And then after this is nice and soft, then you stick the pauldrons in. It tells you which is the left and which is the right. Stick the pauldrons in, and then you'll have no problem doing that. And I noticed that, like I said, right off, when we're assembling right off, maybe it's only the first time you have to do that, but when I was assembling it right off, that it was a little harder to do that because the pegs weren't as hard. So anyway, there's the pauldrons. No problem putting them in the second time. Didn't require heat or anything. Let's talk about the face sculpt. The eyes are really stark white. They appear to glow, very menacing looking. I love all the shading, the gray shading. And Grampire, I wouldn't call him that to his face, but he definitely seems to have aged and, fought many a battle. He's got that massive scar running through the middle of his forehead. Really excited because we're getting in Legion's Lair, I think it was yesterday, they revealed the new vampire head that we're getting as part of the 5 head pack, and it's a vampire with an open mouth. So that's just going to add, I would love to have that open mouth on this body to just add just an extra air of like anger and menace and fury and all those good things. So there he is, Baron Volligar. A beautiful face only a mother could love. And the mother is Alethea, and his daughter is Lucretia. So it's like vampire royalty. Mythos should be quaking in its boots, because they appear to be very, very formidable adversaries. Let me show you the difference in the cape from the earlier capes. It's just there's no instructions as to how to put these capes in, so I'm just taking my best guess. But I've noticed that there's a number of different styles of cape now that we get. This is a little different, and if anybody else has figured out why it's different or how this should be put on, then let me know. But it really doesn't make a difference with this figure, because I'm just going to keep the cape on there with the fur wrap around it, and he's going to look awesome. He's going to look magnificent. So anyway, folks, that's my review of Baron Volligar II. I still love Baron Volligar I, but this is basically looks like a completely new character, and I say he's a must get. He's a definite must get. So loving the vampires, loving what the 4 Horsemen are doing with this line. Congratulations on Baron Volligar. Home run. Knocked it right out of the park. Sculpting, paint, design, everything. All right. That's it for this review. Is Wiz signing out.